Hey BookTube, what's going on? It's Halloween, and I'm here to do a tag. I've had a few, drove a few miles today. But try to stay dedicated to my friends. So this is the Why I Love Halloween. It's an original tag by Ryan over at Madman Reads and Rocks. Don't know Ryan? Go check him out, please. So the key to this tag is there aren't any prompts. You just explain why you love Halloween. So, got to go back to my childhood. When I first started trick-or-treating, I must have been, I don't remember, and there's the dog. Bailey, come on, I'm filming. But when we moved up to this coal camp, we used to live about probably 15 miles down the creek. And let me throw this out there. To go catch the school bus, I don't remember if I've told this before, we would take our flashlights, me and my brother Johnny, and we would walk through the yard, walk through a sandbar, walk across the little footbridge across the branch, go up a path around a cliff, and then cross a swinging bridge, and then we would walk around this field, and we would go out and wait for the bus, and then we would put our flashlights in the mailbox, and our mother or father would pick them up later on. So we walked at least a quarter of a mile just to go out to wait for the bus. So anyway, when we moved up here, we had a shorter walk. It's probably an eighth of a mile down to there. But anyway, we moved up here to this coal camp, and there was a tradition that I don't know who started it, but they would start trick-or-treating on the 28th of October. So we had 3 or 4 days to trick-or-treat, and everybody up in here was used to it. So when people from out of state or from another county would move over here, we'd show up at their place and they're like, hey, wait a minute, it's not, Halloween, but we'd already, well, not we, but somebody had already started this tradition. So we were getting candy like 3 and 4 nights in a row. Costumes, pardon me, generally came from the Five and Dime, from Jackson, which is about 34 miles from here. So you'd ride out to town, pick your mask. It wasn't really it wasn't a costume. Sometimes we'd make ours up. I was a bum one year. I went and cut a stick and tied the old kerchief on there, and my mom loaned me some mascara, and I made it look like I had a mustache. And sometimes we had masks. Sometimes we made stuff up. My cousins, they would take flour and put it on their face. Then they would take soot from the stovepipes and do circles around their eyes. And they would be like zombies because, Night of the Living Dead came out in the late 60s there. So you just, as always, you just work with what you had. But we'd go out trick-or-treating, and sometimes there would be like 20 people, because a lot of people lived up in here back then. Now there's like, let me do the math real quick. On this stretch where there used to be a lot of kids and a lot of people, now there are, let's see, me and my wife, six, now there are like 7 people living on this stretch of road where there used to be 100, maybe a little bit more, which doesn't seem like, you know, a heavily populated area, but to us back then there was, you know, this is why I don't do well with proms, because I'm either tired, I've had too many, or I just can't put, you know, get all my crap together. But on we go. So getting back to the costumes, you'd get these hard plastic masks. They had a rubber band around them that was usually stapled on, and you were hoping that that rubber band would hold up until, you know, Halloween was over. Sometimes the mouth wasn't cut out enough, or the nose holes to where you could get enough oxygen. So this happened to my brother one night, and we was driving down the road in whatever freaking car we had. We used to have an old Chevy Nova, and apparently there were fuel problems with it, and my stepdad had to drop the gas tank, and he didn't want to fasten the gas tank back under the vehicle, so he put the gas tank in the trunk and then took an axe and cut a hole in the trunk, so when you fueled the car up, the place to fuel it was sticking out of the trunk. So anyway, my mother wasn't too happy about that. But okay, so we're driving down the road. I'm okay with my outfit. My brother starts freaking out. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I'm not going to wear this. So he takes his mask off and he pulls a hoodie up and he cinches the strings down. And just his eyes are showing. So he was basically Kenny from South Park, you know. So nice. 20-some years before there was a Kenny. Because he would just go up and trick or treat, and he was speaking through the hood and stuff. So good times. And also we'd drive down the road, and the coal that fell from the coal trucks, we'd pick it up, pitch it in the car. And, you know, because you got to have heat in the winter, so you were kind of multitasking. Some other things I liked about Halloween, obviously the creepy stuff, even at an early age. You know, because Chiller Theater, which came on Channel 13, and if we were lucky, that channel would come in. I mean, it was like a big celebration. Like, all right, we get to watch Chiller Theater, and they'd have normally 2 movies on, but on New Year's Eve they would just, it was like all night. So, but again, I'm getting away from what we're talking about. So anywho, when I was a kid, Halloween was awesome. Every holiday was awesome. It's like Christmas. We didn't get toys all the time. We weren't like kids nowadays. I mean, Christmases, birthdays, that's when you actually got stuff. So Halloween, when you could get your hands on that much candy, man, it's like winning the lottery. So times have changed, people have changed. I guess I've changed, but I used to love Halloween. So if you followed along on this garbled, you know, attempt at this tag, thank you. And thank you, Ryan, for tagging me. I would have liked to be in a little more coherent, but you'd have to be me to understand, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to make myself seem special. But anyway, once again, thank you all. This is a great community. I appreciate all my friends, and as usual. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to go meet Chuck, the book dweller, 2 days from today, so I'll be throwing that video up there. We're gonna go have a beer, maybe some food, and see what's up. So, thank you. I'm babbling, and catch y'all later. Thanks again, Ryan. Bye.